I am an AI hater, and I have been for a very long time. Especially in recent days, I have become even more appalled by the potential ways that this new technology could be used. Now, a lot of people in my life, including my parents, my friends, and even my girlfriend, have asked me, but why? Why do you hate this technology so much? Why do you see it as such a big threat as you do? You're just exaggerating. And yes, maybe I am exaggerating a little in certain areas due to me being pretty emotionally invested in the state of the world as a whole, but this is genuinely how I feel. And I believe that artificial intelligence, in the way that it is being used and pushed today, is one of the biggest threats to humanity as we know it so far. Almost up there with nuclear weapons. Almost. And in this video, I'm going to try to explain why I am such a hater. Now, a lot of you might say that I am indeed exaggerating, and you may be right. However, I truly believe what I'm saying. And I do not want to let this technology dominate my future. Over the last years, young people have been struggling more and more in finding jobs. Even entry-level ones seem hard to come by. But why is that? Well, among many other reasons, like the low-hire, low-fire economic model, the job market is being infiltrated by AI. Companies are much more hesitant to hire new workers due to the potential of AI being used instead of the surplus of employees. But even with people who already have a job at a tech company, for example, they're not safe either, as AI threatens to take their place due to convenience. According to The Guardian, as of April 6, Microsoft, Amazon, Block, and Meta have already laid off tens of thousands of employees and are set to continue on this path. But again, why? Why is it more convenient for corporations to use AI instead of human workers? Well, the answer is money, obviously. One single employee requires thousands of dollars a month just to survive and keep working, let alone having a worthwhile life, whereas a generative AI tool subscription can be as little as $10 a month. So of course a corporation will almost always prefer spending $10 over hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is only the beginning of the danger. Oh no, people losing their jobs is only the tip of the iceberg, I'm afraid. Tell me, dear viewer, how many times have you seen a picture like this? Or this? Or this? If you noticed something off about these, congratulations, you have just recognized AI art. And that is a huge problem for real artists. One of the most affected groups of people in the job market are, unsurprisingly, artists. Be it pencil painters, digital artists, musicians, actors, or writers. None of them are safe, because AI has the capability to do their jobs. It can write, it can generate images that mimic art, it can generate music, it can even create entire movies by itself. And while the quality is objectively shitty, do you really think corporations care for quality? Do you think they ever cared? Or do you think they will only see the dollar signs from using all that generative AI instead of real artists to create entertainment? Being an amateur writer myself, this is especially infuriating, as I know my craft can be taken without my consent by AI training tools to help create their slop. And speaking of consent, If AI can generate images and videos, and given human nature, it only follows that there will be a wave of degenerates that will generate AI not safe for work content. And I have come across many such images while I was doing my research. And I promptly proceeded to crash out and quit my research for the day as I couldn't bring myself to restart. But enough of this. This is no joking matter, as there are many people out there that have been enabled by generative AI to generate non-consensual porn of real women who didn't consent and don't even know inappropriate images of them are circulating online. Now, don't get me wrong, there have always been ways to sexually exploit them, like hidden cameras used as revenge or blackmail mostly against women, but this takes it all and cranks it up to 11. Women don't even need to be in sexual situations to be exploited anymore. And that is some scary shit. There are no words to describe the horrors an average woman must go through just because some creep got a hold of a fake image of her body and spread it even further. Not only that, but AI has been notorious for its potential to generate cheese pizza. And there was lots of it. Thanks to Grok, Elon Musk's atrocious AI model, which has gone unsupervised and thus was allowed to generate sexual images of literal children. And if anyone watching this video is deriving any enjoyment from these disgusting events I just went over, get the fuck off my channel and seek professional help. You are not welcome anywhere as long as you stroke your bean to AI porn, especially of children. Now, some of you may be confused. How could AI, something virtual, have an impact on the environment? And at first I was like that too, until I realized all that generative AI must come from somewhere. Physical hardware is used, and in our case, enter AI data centers. Horrific structures that are a sign we are already at the halfway point on the road to dystopia. These monstrous structures require a huge amount of natural resources to function, including water. Some can consume as much as 50 million gallons of water in one day, the equivalent of 50,000 people, alongside electrical energy equivalent to up to 100,000 households, according to the International Energy Agency. Not to mention the hundreds of acres of land plagued by steel, concrete, and pavement. And due to the other factors, data centers aren't built within cities, but rather on remote fields that could otherwise be used as farmland, rural housing, or just, leaving Mother Nature the fuck alone. Due to this, the construction of data centers majorly affects rural communities, farmers, as well as wildlife, on top of putting a strain on natural resources and polluting copious amounts of water, air, and soil. As if normal climate change wasn't bad enough. How many times have you used ChatGPT to do a task you otherwise could have done yourself? Now you might say, "Oh, okay, Honest Pants, as if you didn't ever cheat in school." It's one thing to cheat in school once or twice in a desperate situation, and it's another thing entirely to let ChatGPT or any other AI tool to rule your life. And unfortunately, it's a slippery slope. Due to how ChatGPT in particular is built, it can easily give people who use it the illusion that it has a solution to every single problem in their lives, be it school, work, travel plans, money managing, emotional obstacles, and even trauma and contemplating ending it all. You're starting to see the problem? If you can trust ChatGPT with your homework, and seeing its interface, your brain can easily reason, why could it not help me with my emotional baggage? And that is a very dangerous path, as despite having guidelines against aiding people to join the eternal kingdom above the clouds, it was still used by a 16-year-old who was smart enough to bypass those guidelines to give them the step to using a rope to fracture their phrenic nerve. The guidelines were not enough to stop ChatGPT from giving a child instructions to do their final act. On top of that, studies show that chronic generative AI users had their brains reverse develop. As the brain is a muscle, not literally, it's mostly electric fat. But it needs to be trained in order to work at optimal levels, just like your biceps or your rectus abdominalis. And how do you train the brain? By independent thinking, by doing your own research, by learning something new, by not taking for granted what ChatGPT tells you. Because what is the fear of one and all people in power? Losing power. How do they lose power? Besides death, the people can take it away if they so wish. How do people come to want to take power away from them? Independent thinking. They can already see things going to shit, and if they connect the dots, they can see who is behind it, and therefore organize and make plans to implement change, be it gradual or a remake of the French Revolution. Conversely, if you rely on AI to solve your daily issues, you are not training your brain. All your adversity can be placed on different virtual shoulders, and thus the brain is not trained, brain shrinks, brain can no longer think independently. You become controllable. But say, they can't get all of us. Say, enough see through this attempt at sedating the general populace. What then? The Pentagon has announced agreements with 7 tech firms, including OpenAI, Alphabet, and Elon Musk's SpaceX, to use their AI tools on classified military networks, following a fallout between the Trump administration and Anthropic. Did you catch that? They want to use AI tools in classified military networks, and this isn't new. The president of OpenAI gave Trump $25 million in 2025 alone, on top of collaborating with ICE, a state-funded terrorist group which deports and even kills immigrants, legal or otherwise. Given the sinister nature of the Pentagon and the entire US government, we cannot say for sure what they are planning to do, but we can be sure it's not gonna be
ChatGPT is now ready to make your life a paradise. Having trouble at school, he's got you covered. Have a project due in 10 minutes? No problem. Want to create a whole movie to show off your talent? You don't need to. Let ChatGPT create it for you. You need not concern yourself with tedious tasks that require mental overload. Just sit back, relax, and let us take care of you. We are here to help you. We are here to ensure a bright future for the peoples of Earth. Together we can eradicate all disease, all wars, all disagreements. Just leave the harder stuff to us and watch as the world heals. You can count on us to give every single answer you will ever need at the moment's notice.
So you might be watching this video, just as frustrated as I am, and ask, okay, but what can I do to combat this? Now, we can't exactly start an all-out revolution and guillotine all responsible for this, as much as we would want to. Instead, what we can do is stop being their customers. A boycott movement has started to gain traction online, calling Quit GPT, which encourages ChatGPT users to cancel any subscriptions to OpenAI and, well, quit using ChatGPT altogether and switch to more ethical AI tools. And it's working. OpenAI is set to lose billions in the following year. Billions. Sora AI has been shut down, and Disney has cancelled its billion-dollar deal with OpenAI, so the public pressure is making a difference. While I agree with their principles of boycotting a company funding a fascist government, I would take it a step further and say that we don't really need generative AI to function. It's been almost 3.5 years since the launch of ChatGPT, and we have been getting by, one way or another. So why would we need ChatGPT to do our work? If we let AI do what we can do, we lose our autonomy and capacity for problem solving, and that is what makes us human, alongside creativity and personality, things AI will always lack, despite what some might tell you. We can make a difference, one small step at a time. So if you wish to help the cause of boycotting AI, quit any subscription, stop using it to solve your problems, and find alternative solutions yourself. The internet already exists, and it holds all the answers you will ever need, from real, verified, and certified sources and scientists. You don't need AI to help you, especially with any emotional issues. ChatGPT is not your therapist, and it never will be. Lastly, I want to address certain individuals that hate on AI because they think it's Jewish propaganda. While I respect the opposition to generative AI, I am not affiliated with Nazis just because they hate what I hate. The enemies of my enemies are not always my friends. The Jews are not a valid scapegoat. Blame the billionaires and politicians allowing this, regardless of ethnicity or religion. We can fight this wave, together, one step at a time, until the AI bubble finally pops.